Entrepreneurship is hard and was hard and is crazy difficult until I learned this. Sit back, relax, and watch the show. Subscribe, and let's lock, load, and roll. Listen, entrepreneurship is hard for a lot of reasons. Number one, you have to have a chip in your brain that says, I'm going to ship it, I'm going to start, and I don't have to know all the answers. I don't have to have everything laid out. It's like you get in your car. I live in Las Vegas right now when I'm shooting this. So if I were to get in a car right now and drive, I don't need to know every exit and every gas station. I just need to know, look, if I'm headed east, I can jump on like the I-15 and head up to I-70, or I can jump on the, 95 South and head down to the 10. That's all I got to know. Like, I don't have to know everything. I just need to know I got enough money for gas and go. See, most people, they're wired to want to know every answer and everything. This goes against human nature, because human nature is like, we want the answers. We want everything to be safe. It's not that. So that's the first reason why entrepreneurship is hard. And what I learned was it's not ready, aim, fire. It's fire and then aim and ready. That's what being an entrepreneur is. But if you're expecting to have everything laid out before, God, it's going to take you a while. Okay. Another reason why entrepreneurship is hard is you shoulder the burden of everything: the money, the sales, the closing, the marketing, the payroll, the books. Obviously, you can go hire this stuff out, but in the beginning, most people don't have this. And even if you do hire a team, guess who's responsible? You are. So it's hard because now you have to build a different capacity, a capacity mentally, a capacity emotionally and spiritually, a capacity financially to be able to handle and bear the burdens and the weight and the stress of the business. Another reason why entrepreneurship is really difficult is people are going to talk trash. Like, that's what they do. They get excited for you in the beginning, but they're afraid. And so they kind of watch you from afar. And they might like the first couple posts. Hey, I'm doing this business. But that doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. And they might be skeptical and critical. Right? They might have a lot of criticism behind your back. This hurts. I remember I was running ads for one of my programs. And the program that I was running ads for is called Shieldmate. Now, we've since retired and shut the program. That was amazing. 9 years. It was a women's boot camp. It was powerful. And I remember on the ads, all the comments were, where's the women of color? Where's the women of color? And I'm like, there's a Polynesian lady, an Asian lady, a black lady, a Hispanic lady. Like, what? And it made me mad. But again, it's easy to throw hate from the bleachers. And I love what Roosevelt says, it's not the critic who counts. So when you're an entrepreneur, you're actually the man or the woman in the arena. Another reason why entrepreneurship is tough is that there's no guarantees. The only guarantee is that you can keep your word and not give up and quit. But when you have a job, it's like, hey, you're counting on the organization to give you a paycheck because you exchange your hour for dollars. You exchange your time for dollars. Or if you're on a salary, you show up with your skill sets and they give you a paycheck. There is none of that with being an entrepreneur. You eat what you kill. And if you're not used to that and that freedom and that autonomy, well, you're going to struggle because you might find yourself being distracted by social media and distracted by every endless thing. We call them hide behind activities or sawing sawdust, wasting time. So between the trash talk, the family and friends getting mad at you, people making fun of you, being seen starting small, shouldering like the burden and carrying the weight. Another reason why entrepreneurship is hard is you actually have to learn marketing and sales. Now you can go hire firms, but they'll never market and close until you really understand. I have a client right now, and they coach. I'm not going to say what they coach, but they do coach and they make really good money. And they've hired so many firms and sales teams, and all those teams have failed. Why? Because the client didn't understand that he needed to understand his sales cycle and the customer experience and the customer journey. When he finally got that, he was able to effectively hire a sales team and teach them. You got to master marketing. You got to master sales. You got to master leadership. Oh, what happens when they refund and charge you back? Do you have emotional strength and power? So entrepreneurship is tough. There's no question about it. It's not for everybody. It's like being in hand-to-hand combat, gladiator, warrior sport. Now, It was hard until I learned what? I'm going to give you 3 things that made the biggest difference for me. Number 1, I decided that there was no going back. I burned my boats. See, there's a story of Cortez, and Cortez, right, gets commissioned by the queen. He's going to take his people. They're going to sail to a new land. They're going to conquer the new land. So they sail boats for months and months and months and months. And back then, they didn't have like planes and trains and automobiles. So they finally get to the new land. They unload their boats. And then Cortez has his men burn their own boats. They burned the boats. And his men were like, oh my gosh, the enemy knows we're here. And he's like, no, they don't. I burned the boats. And they're like, why would you do that? He said, because there's no going back. So long as you have a plan B in the back of your pocket, you'll never succeed, because in entrepreneurship, you got to go all in. So when I burned my boats and I went all in, like there's no going back, there's no plan B, there's no plan C. I'm going to figure this out. Now, obviously, you don't want to do that. If you don't have some certainty and like you just know. But sometimes there's a spiritual component where you just know, I'm burning my boats, I'm going all in. Have you burned your boats yet? Do you have a plan B or a plan C? Or are you like, dude, I'm making plan A work, and if plan A doesn't work, I'm making plan B work. Not like a other plan, but I'm making this work no matter what. Entrepreneurship was hard until I got this. That I knew it was possible, and I just had to figure out what would it take. So boats are burned. I'm not going back. I'm all in. Now I got to ask the question, what will it take? Who must I become? And I started to ask these powerful questions. Who must I become? Who must you become? What would it take for you to develop the skill sets and the know-how and the FIO? FIO stands for figure it out. We can figure stuff out real fast. And if someone had a gun to your child's head, I know that's a tough picture to see, and you had to figure it out, you could figure it out. Entrepreneurship was hard until I said, okay, like who would I got to be? And what's it going to take? What would it take? And whatever it takes is what it takes. You got to go find money, go find money. You got to go raise money, go raise money. You got to go close deals, go learn how to sell, go get a job, go close deals. And then entrepreneurship was hard until I learned this third one, which is mentors, coaches, and masterminds. I have mentors. I have coaches. I pay for many of my mentors and coaches. One coach was $5,000 an hour. One coach was $100,000 for the year for 2 calls a month. Another coach is $25,000. You're like, oh my gosh, tell me you're throwing some numbers out. It's a lot of money, and it's not. If you're an entrepreneur and you think $100,000 is a lot of money, you're not an entrepreneur. You're a glorified employee. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you think $100,000 is a lot of money and you're an entrepreneur, boy, you better have a paradigm shift. If you think $1 million is a lot of money, you better have a paradigm shift, because it's not that much money today. So I have coaches and mentors, coaches who coach me on how to market, how to sell, how to run events, how to close deals, how to deal with clients who are unhappy, how to deal with situations that were kind of out of my scope and out of my depth of range and experience. I have coaches and mentors who I was getting ready to burn my business to the ground, and I was freaking out. And they coached me through it. Sometimes they'd punch me in the face. I'm so grateful for my coaches and mentors, because they're the ones who helped me. In addition to my family, they're the ones who helped me the most. They taught me how to really be a powerful person. They taught me how to speak on the stage. They showed me things that I could not see. So if you want to be a powerful entrepreneur, guess what you got to do? Hire a coach. That's right. And just because one of your friends has a coach that works for them does not mean that they're going to be good for you. I hired 2 bodybuilding coaches in the past. They were horrible. They were not bad people. They just weren't good for me, and I should have vetted them more. So the third coach I hired is helping me to drop about 30 pounds of fat, go from 23% body fat to 10% body fat, which is where I currently sit right now in preparation for a show. Entrepreneurship is hard until you burn your boats and go all in. Like, entrepreneurship is hard until you start to ask the question, what's it going to take and who do I got to be? And entrepreneurship is hard until you hire the right coaches and mentors and get in the right rooms and be in the masterminds, and you can learn from others' mistakes real quick. Listen, if this is useful, obviously leave me a comment, subscribe, and continue to follow us on all platforms. But join us on a live experience. I'd love to have you there. It's every single month. There's a link in the description. I love what I do in helping people to see the blind spots. I coach, I mentor, I teach, I speak for a living. I help you to solve your most expensive problems. I've helped so many clients with so many problems and challenges across all 4 domains, right? The physical, the spiritual, the relational, the financial. And we do it all at the same time. Lose weight, make your marriage better, connect more to God, and make more money. Like, that's what we do. So that's you. Join me for our live experience. Click on the link in the description. Thanks for watching this. And if you're an entrepreneur, burn your boats, baby. Go all in. Let's get it. Who do I got to be? What would it take? And you got it. Make it happen. Make it happen. Thanks so much for watching, my friends. Until next time, let's roll.
Let's go. See, it's more than the game that we changing. We don't do it for the block, do it for the name. Yeah. No, there ain't no stopping it. If you really want it, better rock with it. This is how to be a game changer. Better put your pride down, heavy, get your pen up. Wanna be the greatest, we ain't stopping till we win, yo. This is how to make it when they hating, we ain't worried what they saying. This is how to be a game changer.